Are there ethical issues that come up in your work, especially around the necessary use of embryos in research? And if so, what are they and how do you think about them?
Mm. So certainly there were a lot of ethical issues around stem cell biology back in the late 1990s, for instance, because at that time the only source of pluripotency was by sacrificing human embryos, so very early blastocysts prior to implantation, because they were the source of those very early cells which could give rise to literally any one of the tissues of the body. Um, and that, of course, does raise major ethical implications. So it was something that I struggled with a lot when I first entered the field, was quite how to rationalize my own Christian beliefs and faith with the use of early human embryos. We actually never had to use human embryos because once a cell line has been produced, then it is actually available forever. So it can be cryopreserved and then thawed and then sent to other laboratories around the world. So we've received these embryonic stem cells from other people, but nevertheless it does raise a lot of ethical issues about their use. A lot of that has actually now changed with induced pluripotency because in fact we can now access pluripotency but without ever having to go near human embryos. And so that is very much our preferred line of attack now, is to make use of this new technology called induced pluripotency. So when we first began to make use of embryonic stem cells, I did certainly struggle quite a lot in trying to reconcile my own Christian faith with the fact that these had come from human embryos which had been sacrificed for that purpose. Having thought a lot about it though, I was able to reconcile that to some extent by the fact that human embryos are only ever used which are surplus to requirements in IVF clinics. And these embryos would be destroyed anyway by law within about 5 years of having been produced. And so my way of thinking is that it's better to make use of these embryos for some beneficial means rather than them be destroyed in any case for no benefit whatsoever. So to some extent their use is not too ethically contentious, at least not in my own mind. So embryos are never produced specifically so that they can act as a source of these embryonic stem cells. They are merely sacrificed for that purpose if they would be destroyed in any case.